Hey everyone, so I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you what I found to be effective for NVivo 12. Many of the tutorials, unfortunately, were for NVivo 11 that I found, and even Juliana, I think when she was trying to show us how to do it, was struggling just a tiny bit because it does look very different from 12 in 12 than it did in 11. So I'm just going to show you what I learned after watching some videos and fiddling around and make it quick. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with blank project. You want to title that something. Mine was like community college students and online learning. First, we want to import the files. So there's home, create. I'm not going to watch the tutorial because I've already watched it. And while it was somewhat helpful, it wasn't as helpful as it could have been. So home, create, explore, and share. Where I got thrown off is there's no coding stripe or anything available because you only can use that when you're inside the PDF itself. So let's get some PDFs first. You're going to do import. We're going to do files. So what I did is I created a specific folder. And then what I did is the articles I'm going to use, I actually changed the title to have the last name and the date of publication. Similar to what Juliana and several things online had suggested, and then I had a just brief description of it, and I'll show you why that's so important to do. So what we're going to do is select them, and I'm going to grab the ones that I actually was responsible and titled. I have about 22 that I've imported, and I'm working on coding, but these are a few to start. So import. So it takes a second to load everything. And what you should see is all your files right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the first one. Here's the article I have. There's a couple steps that we can do before we code it. What a lot of people suggested doing was creating a memo with the abstract and the citation for it. So I don't know if I have a citation quick and easy. I am going to use CiteFast here on my other screen that you can't see and put this one in, but I will show you how to make the memo that works the most effectively, at least that I found. Journal. Okay, so to create a memo that you can put your own notes or your own document, she referenced that, you go to memo link. So once the PDF is open, I want to be able to connect it with the specific PDF. So I'm going to do link to new memo. Title is going to be the last name. So this is Nichols Chadhari. Oh, it's not going to come up the way I want. And standarding. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what the date is on this one. I think I picked the article that was kind of funky and didn't have an initial date. Let's make one up. 2020, I think maybe was it. So you hit OK. And then you can see this is the memo. So here's the PDF right here. Here is the memo itself. So what you could do is you could copy and paste the name of the citation. So I don't have it in front of me. What I did is I ran it through CiteFast and then I put it in here in stammering, and then I would do the whole citation, just like I would if I was writing the paper. So then at the end, you can quickly go through all the memos and just cut and paste everything. And then you have a nice reference page if you so choose. You don't have to automatically save it when you save for the whole system. That's what saves these, but there's not a specific save button. Then it's helpful to have the abstract so that you could quickly reference all your memos and see what were the main points. So you can just cut and paste that, and then I'm going to hit copy right there, and then paste. And you can actually use the cheat like Control-C and Control-V. So now I have a nice memo that would have the whole citation and the abstract. So if I got confused, I could look back and be like, oh, right, this is the article that was a review of, 499 open Polytechnic students. So I think if we have hundreds of articles, it's really helpful to be able to whip through and look at the abstract and the citation quickly. So now we can actually code the article itself. So we have coding stripes turned on, I find, so you can do recent coding. And what we're gonna do, you can do it a couple of different ways. The way that works well for me, because I'm lazy and I typically like the whole paragraph, is I select the entire paragraph and you can pick one or more nodes for that. So I started out initially making all the nodes, but decided that was a hassle. So I erased them all and I started over. So what I did is I just select it, and then you right click and you're going to code. You don't need a code in NVivo, you can just do code. And this talks really about what transformative learning theory, perfect, quick definition. So you can do new node. So I'm going to do transformative learning theory, and you can really do this in a lot of different ways. You can also do 2 nodes at once. So let's say new node. So what if I want to do, oh, see, that's a new node under that, and that's not what I want. So we're going to delete this one. Name cannot be empty. It creates one for me. So I can delete it because I don't want it under transformative learning theory. What I want is a separate node that is just called theory. So we're going to select this, hit OK. And what I can do is if I want to add another node, I can hit code again, same paragraph highlighted, and do a new node. And let's say I do theory. So let's say I want to look back later and I want to not just see transformative learning theory, but every time I cited a theory. So this is helpful, like in my other set of articles where I've got 4 different theories it's referencing. So I have a theory tab, and then I have each theory broken up specifically. So I can do theory and do that. So I've got one coded. Now let's say I want to code again. This is again about theory. So I can do code, and now I can do theory and click the control button and do transformative learning theory. So now I can do 2 at once. Okay, so let's say I want to do something different. Let's scroll down. So I've been going through every article and just doing paragraph by paragraph. Let's do online education and transformative. So I can select this code. I want to do online education. Most of the things I watched or said that you really only want to do 1 or 2, maybe 3 words for each code. And this also talks about transformative learning theory. So I'm going to use control, hit OK. So I would go through this entire thing until I have everything coded. And then I can exit out of it, exit out of the memo, and go to the next one. So this is from Masaru himself. So same thing, I would do existing memo. Masaru, I think this one's from 1997. Oh, 2007. No, I think I don't know. I'm gonna have to look back at that. I would put his fancy little citation, blah, 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 blah. And then I would cut and paste if there was an abstract. This one, I guess I could put that as the abstract. It doesn't really technically have one because it's actually a book chapter. There we go. Same thing, transformative learning theory. Might select that. Code. And I might do theory because I want both. Okay, and to see that on the right, I need coding stripes. Recent coding. And what will happen over time is you build different coding stripes, you'll see, or different nodes, you'll see a bunch of different ones on the side. So here is the basics. So now I want to show you the one I created. So we'll save this, and then I'm going to go to the one I've already done. Close. This is the one that I started yesterday. So here's all my articles, a lot of different reference, files, memos. Oh, these are all my nodes themselves. I'm sorry. Here are the files themselves. So you can see these are all the ones I've read through and put codes on or nodes on. And then some of these I haven't gotten to because I went hiking today with my family. So once you want to look back and see, you are going to click on node and you can select one. So let's say I'm in the measurement tools section. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. I can just select that. This is measurement tools. And what it does is the reason that you want your files to have that title is, see, now I can see Akaklu and Lee 2016. If this was just titled as transformative learning article, I would have no idea who actually wrote it. So this is why you want the files to have the title and citation in it, because it will make it much easier when you're going back to write your paper. And you can see here, this is everything that I highlighted that talked about the different scales that these different studies used. This is from one by Northcote, Bolliger and Halupa. So what I did is I really went and just cut and pasted every time I talked about a scale that I liked, that looked interesting or had information about Deep Zoo, Côte de Grief, and Van Wing. So that's what I have so far. And you can also look at the memos quickly. So this is Goldrick and Robb. Oh, I don't have that. Let's use Gillett Swan. So you can see I have all my memos. I can look and say, oh, if I'm wanting to create a reference page, I could cut and paste into Word all the different citations, and then it has each abstract as well. And you can see that it starts to build it over the top. So you can look at all the memos side by side, or you could bring up the articles. So I hope this was helpful, everyone, to at least getting you started, getting filed. Ooh, and I wanted to show you one more thing. Here's what they look like with lots of different. So now I have a lot of nodes because I want to be able to go back and reference multiple things. So if you did the coding stripe, recent coding, so you can see on this one, all the different nodes that I selected. So it's got them listed, coding density, like online interventions, immediate benefits, measurement tools, social connectedness. So just really went through and built and coded so that it's something that I can easily reference in the future. So good luck. I hope this helps. Thanks so much.